Hi.
What's wrong?
First of all, my bar stool is too tall.
It's always something. It's always something.
I have to take it back.
Well, you look good.
I feel like I'm like,
No, you just look tall.
Maybe I just need this. Maybe I just need to go like this.
That's fine. You just look tall. You know, we're not used to being tall people. So it is what it is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the MLK Sunday edition of ORNOT. How odd is this? Take this time. If you're watching, you two people that are watching, take this time to share with your friends and family. I feel like this is going to be a really good episode. I have engulfed myself in Martin Luther King, Emmett Till civil rights stuff over the last hour and a half, and I'm just ready to get in it. But we still get hot topics today. We get Charles in charge today, and guess what? We're putting them on at the same time. The whole crew is going to be on the show, the entire show, unless someone has to go. Now, if someone has to go, you just roll out.
I gotta go, but I'll be back.
Not like that, y'all. Y'all see how that go? Okay, I'm just gonna bring in the crew since now I'm by myself. Okay, so we're gonna go hot topics first, but I'm just bringing her in to introduce her, and then I'm gonna introduce Charles. Okay, so hot topics is here.
All up in rich folk business. You know. Hey, y'all.
Hey, oh, that's so cute.
Isn't it cute, girl?
Okay. Charles in charge.
Yeah, what is going on? It's Magnificent Monday, aka MLK Monday. Yes.
It's not Monday. It's Sunday.
You know what? In my mind, it's Monday. It's feeling great. I'm sorry.
If people see all of us, you're right. It's Monday.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
okay, you know what? We'll say Sensational Sunday. How about that?
Hey,
Sensational Sunday. There you
Insert
go.
Future clip. Sensational.
Boom. Yes, sensational.
So Danielle, are you all set and ready to go, girl?
Girl, these glasses are giving me reflections. It's just
they cute, girl.
Cute. I'm loving the look.
My uncle, I have an uncle named Silky, and he lives in California. Uncle Silky got me these glasses. They are Seville Row glasses. I found them during my move.
Okay. Shout out to Uncle Silky.
We're gonna have to get a new shirt. Sensational Sundays.
Yeah. Sensational Silky Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. Look at that.
So listen. Of course, I have to do a shameless plug.
Okay.
So as you all know, if you go to ornotpodcast.com, you will see us and you will see something that says merch shop. If you click on merch shop, you will see a whole bunch of plethora of cool tees and cool hoodies, kind of like what I have on and what Marquita has on. And I have Macchiato Mondays coming in the mail. I'm excited. So
here we go. Yes, I will be heading over to the merch spot.
So everybody, make sure you go to the merch shop and grab your hoodie or your tee. They are true to size. They fit amazingly. So we love our merch. So you should too.
Get your on the way.
You gotta say the merch fits sensationally since it's Sensational Sunday.
The merch fits sensationally silky.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's not silk. It's probably 100% cotton. So don't.
Yes, don't be clicking on our page looking for some goddamn silk hoodies. Take that over to Gucci. Right. Don't come over here with that. We don't do that.
Facts.
We don't have that.
We don't have that.
So we will go with Charles in charge first. I don't have a Mac moment. I'm just happy that we're back. I stopped counting how many episodes we are. I think we're like 1,800 episodes in. So y'all know we've been around.
Who's counting?
Right?
Who's counting?
Right? We're not counting.
Keep coming. When you see the notification, just keep coming.
Exactly.
You see us posting it? Just come. Oh, you know what? All they showing up this week. I think I seen it on Instagram and Facebook. Just tune in. It don't even matter. Just come on in.
When you see that we're live symbol, that's the back signal to log on.
As a matter of fact, while you at it, go ahead and click them little 3 dots so you can go ahead and get the notifications. Please.
Yes, Marquita.
That's right. We do tech tutorials. We do it all on the ORNOT podcast. So come on through.
Not tech.
You want to learn your tech? You want to get tech? All your stories, all the goodies, all in one spot, or not? Here we go.
Yep. So while I'm sending out massive messages to all of my friends and family to tune in, Charles, talk to us about what's in.
I need to do that. You didn't ask me if I had a still I rise.
You have a still I rise.
I'll just mash my still I rise in with what I have to say about MLK. It's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna get before we get deep today, folks. We're gonna get out all of the foolishness. You know, Charles and Charles segment. I got, my ears are always to the streets, so I always gotta bring you something that's very interesting. So, as everybody knows about Mr. Tremaine Nevelson, Trey Songz. A lot of things going on about Mr. Steal Your Girl, aka I Gotta Make It. Can't help but wait. I mean, this guy's put out classic hits. I'm not gonna lie, I am very disappointed about the allegations that I'm hearing right now.
Tasha needed a moment for herself, Charles.
I know. Sing it, just sing it one time. Can't help but wait. Just one time. That's all. Just
Charles,
to get yourself through it.
I'm not
a singer.
He gotta wait for these court dates. He gotta wait for something, Charles.
Yeah, he gotta wait for these court dates. Okay, we'll leave that alone. But again, what's happening with him? He's been accused, and this is just accused now of rape. Allegedly.
Everything
he's been accused
about rich folk business is allegedly.
Yes.
Well, okay, fine. We'll put the alleged, but he allegedly supposedly raped this young lady. The young lady is accusing him, and she's made a court complaint. And the only thing is just like, again, this is all alleged, right? But what sucks about this whole situation is like, bruh, for the last several years, we just been hearing these type of situations. First, it started with Kiki. And now it's like several other girls. The only problem is with this, like, look, whatever is going on, like, please, just say something. Say, look, I didn't do this and I plan to fight this or something. Because it's like, the more you're like silent, I'm sorry. If somebody lying on me, I'm going to say, hey, you lying. This is not true. We're going to take it to the court. I'm not going to sit there and say silent. That don't do anything. That makes it look worse. Especially in a situation like this.
Kind of, some people look more liarish when they just.
I don't know. If somebody say, hey, you robbed the bank, and you didn't rob the bank, you gonna sit there and stay quiet? No. This is jail time. This is freedom right now that's on the line.
I don't have commentary for this.
Yes,
well, I would like to speak on behalf of Tasha. Yes. If she doesn't mind. So we actually have a long lasting relationship with Trey Songz. Some may say it's in the metaverse, but it's there. And with that said, we feel like he is definitely innocent until proven guilty.
Agreed.
We think that Trey comes from very humble beginnings and from a small town in Petersburg, Virginia. And that's very close to us. It hits home for us. So we just have to say, just because it looks bad
doesn't mean it is bad.
Shout out to the Trojans in the comments.
Right. And I'm hoping, but here's the thing, I'm hoping that like he just comes through all of this. Because especially as a black man being accused of anything, it could go left in so many different ways, even if he comes out innocent, like it hurts his brand, it hurts his name. What if he has something in the works for movies and everything else? You know how this game plays.
I don't know how the
So,
game plays, Charles,
you've
but
seen it.
we cannot accuse Trey Songz. I don't even
No,
know
I was going to
it's
say,
not.
I
It's not
agree.
accusing.
I would agree
Wait,
with Charles. The allegations are actually more damaging than if he had a guilty or
yes,
innocent verdict. You got to understand, endorsements start getting pulled just with
yes,
allegations.
Yeah.
yes.
So I really don't think that he should. I mean, I think he has come out on certain allegations and tried to deny it. And I think that's done more bad than good. I don't know. BHVA might need to hit him up in the DMs and be like, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and take your cornrows out, scratch your scalp, cut your hair, and put you on camera and tell you what to say. Because he might need some of that. You know, he might
Yeah,
need
like
y'all.
I just don't
We just
want.
don't want him to be silent.
I just
Right.
don't want him. Like, it's a tough situation, and you know what? It could be the best thing for him to be silent, but that's a tough thing to be silent on. If somebody's accusing you of something that you didn't do.
But at least he's consistently silent. He was silent when they said he was gay or he was having gay activity. He was been silent with the Kiki Palmer thing. He's been pretty silent for everything, pretty much everything.
Well, the Kiki he did bring up on the Breakfast Club. He talked about it on the Breakfast Club. Yeah,
Kiki has a problem with everyone. Have y'all noticed? She's a common denominator.
Yeah, and you don't see too much of Kiki nowadays. I done said too much.
She is trying to have a comeback. Kiki has some type of a skin issue. So because of her skin issue, she's been riding that wave in terms of teaching people how to take care of their skin, how she's covered it up. So that's been her motto lately.
Yeah.
Right. That's the last time she's been relevant, I think. Oh, she was on Insecure. She was on Insecure recently.
Yeah. That was a great look. Shout out to Issa Rae.
Who was on Insecure?
She was on Insecure for an episode.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal about it on the Shade Room, kind of like she said she wanted to work with Issa. And then they
got the opportunity.
And they showed love.
Role. Oh, you know who she is? She's Condoleezza's. What was that lady? The girl.
The light lady?
No. Lauren's baby mama.
Sister.
Okay. Her baby mama. Yeah, sister.
Yeah, the baby mama sister.
I'm on that episode.
I was gonna say her tweet when she originally tweeted, she was just like, Issa Rae, let me on the show, I'll come in and beat her up. But then they actually ended up making her sister on the episode. So
right.
Well, you know what? 50. Put Trey in one of the episodes of Power or something. You know?
No.
Yeah.
I think Trey just needs to lay low. You know what I'm saying? Trey, stay home, grease your baby scalp so his cornrows can be tight like yours.
Not the baby scalp.
Stay out of this limelight, Trey Songz. I just feel like he needs to. If you notice, a lot of the times when celebrities lay low, it kind of the lawsuits against them kind of go poof.
Well, I hope these cold poof because I don't want to see nothing happen.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If Trey Songz is guilty, we gonna be putting his royalties on his commissary. So now,
if he's guilty, it's gonna be brought up on the ORNOT podcast.
Well, that's true.
Well, listen, hold on. We are just like CNN and Fox. We are biased, so it may not show up.
I'm just saying.
Look, hot topic.
Leave the man alone.
Hot topic. Charles in charge. Don't bring that mess up in here if he comes guilty. Okay.
All right. Okay. You know what? We'll keep that on the private chat.
Just letting you know. Look. It's gonna be a lot of technical difficulties. We're gonna be like remove.
Look, the verdict come out. Charles just gonna send the eyes in the group message.
I'm just gonna look like. That's what I'm gonna do. Charles segment, I'm just gonna go like this, like
Charles gonna send us a video to the group message. Hey guys.
I know this gonna be my last day, but this is what I want to talk about today.
I was just gonna say, I want what's best for you.
I know that's right.
That's what I really want.
Charles is singing today.
Yeah,
what's that for you?
Singing Sundays,
sensational, silky
Sundays. Look at that. We add more S's as we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that.
Tonight is for the kids.
So that was good. That was good. So anything else for Charles in charge?
That is it. Like I said, we just want Trey. If you're listening, we just want you to come out this okay. That's it. Man, we are prayers for you and the family and everybody that's going through all this craziness. We just want you to come out okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So here comes the foolish.
Hashtag.
Yes.
The hashtags are growing.
Hashtags tonight, baby.
Hey.
Y'all don't need to go on the website. Yeah, we may need to add more.
Right, Latoya, add superb in there a little bit.
Look, he said add superb.
Add superb.
Please add it. Listen, you know how they have like admins, like on YouTube, they have like chatterization admins. Like Latoya could be like a chatterization admin. If
there you go,
like
we're gonna turn her into a bot. Add her to the Toya bot.
More than just a bot.
Look at this. I even like that.
Okay.
So sanctified.
Okay.
Oh, it is Sunday.
Hallelujah. All right now.
Woo.
Come on, somebody.
Who in the hell left the gate open? Let's go.
An ORNOT bot.
I'm coming up.
This is how much energy we have on the days we don't work.
Yeah.
This is
it might be a thing.
Hey, you might get a better groove out of us on Sundays, y'all.
I told Danielle, was like, we might do better on Sundays. We'll have to see. So
right.
It was
the one that popped in my head. Who the hell left the gate open? I just had to put that out there.
Who the hell left the gate open? Marquita, what you looking at? Marquita,
girl, you know, stuff be going on in the background, honey. Stuff still be going on.
Backstage. You had the side eye real strong.
Yeah, she looked like, okay, what's going on?
Something was about to be going on. I was about to excuse myself. Thank God for the mute button. Thank God for the mute button.
Yes.
Well,
hallelujah.
So we can keep you out of mess. What foolishness do you have today for us?
Yes.
Well, you know, I gotta start off nice and easy. You know,
who died?
Right. R.I.P. because 2022 ain't playing no games. R.I.P. to Steve Portier, James M. Toomey, and Bob Saget. So R.I.P. to the legends. It was this first of the year. 2022 is really like hold my beer, because I just feel as though 2022 is coming in with a bang. We done told you to come in here and sit your ass down. Now you was up here doing all this craziness with the weather and the politics and the COVID. It's just, look now, if one thing we gonna learn from 2021, don't 22 help you miss any money. So just know that all the stuff that may be going on, that's feeling like that's got you down with the COVID cases rising, just learn from last year that it did not stop people from figuring out a way to make money. So please do that, because I feel as though we're gonna need some money coming up, y'all. We're gonna need some money. Now I'm going to the ignorance. I'm gonna go ahead and now, before the ignorance starts, a few congrats goes out. Congrats to Jeezy and Jenny Mai. They had their baby boy Jenkins. So congratulations. We what his name is. They keep referring to him as Snow, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the baby's name. So I don't know. We're gonna call him Baby Jenkins right now. He Baby Jenkins. Until we get an official name. Birthday to the late great Aaliyah. Wanted to put that out today. So just want to say happy birthday to her. Continue to rest in baby girl. It's today.
Yeah, today's birthday. Yeah.
Today's the day. Yes, come through, Baby Jenkins. Now to the ignorance. Tristan Thompson.
The embarrassment. Go ahead.
The embarrassment.
He's the worst.
Tristan Thompson has a baby, and he done had another baby on Courtney, and somebody need to go check on Chloe. Chloe, not Courtney.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Courtney, I'm sorry, y'all.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
They're not together, so he can't have a baby on her.
That's true too.
But when you faking and fronting, like that's the type of like you guys are getting back that relationship.
But I think it was just on him. I feel like he wanted to be back with her, and she don't want him no more.
Well, no. That's exactly what I'm saying. Don't play that you want to get back with this girl, and you all under her comments and her pictures and sending flowers to her and True and all of this stuff like that, and then you around here got a baby on the way. I'm not blaming. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming Courtney. I mean Chloe. I'm not blaming Chloe. Somebody check on her. I don't know if she was at Chicago's birthday party over the weekend, but somebody go check on Chloe. Courtney said she didn't learn from Kim and Chloe, and she just gonna stick to the white guys that she used to. But Chloe, somebody go check on the baby. Tristan is an embarrassment at this point.
He is, man. It's just like, bruh, like you did it. Like,
but if you watch the last season of the Kardashians, I caught a couple episodes, and apparently he was laying it on heavy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Why?
He was like embarrassed. Kind of like,
why leave her alone?
Yeah, he bought her a ring. He bought her. She's like, I don't want to accept it. I'm trying to be nice to him. I want us to co-parent, and he's just bringing it on heavy. He's like, I love you. She's like, bye. I mean, like she's trying to cut him loose. But you look, like you said, he faking the funk because you over here doing other women. So you're not even real.
Leave that girl alone. When you got a whole crackhead talking about you lame, Lamar Odom said he was damn lame. When Lamar Odom said you was like, Tristan, go on about your business. You got a whole crackhead talking about you at this point. Just go ahead.
What you say, Charles?
Mr. Brothel needs to chill.
Right.
Yes. He's had enough.
That's what I'm saying. If he got something to say to you, Tristan, you know you trifling. You know you trifling.
It's bad.
It's just bad all around.
That's why I said it's really bad.
You think he has people?
Huh?
What's that?
You think he has people? Like people like a manager or a publicist?
I wouldn't want to be his PR. That's too much to clean up.
Like, because he continues to mess up. Like, it's a serious problem he has. Maybe he's a sex addict.
Maybe everybody is a sex addict, girl. That's offline. Marquita probably knows. Tasha's like, he's probably a sex addict.
Well, God bless the dead. I guess DMX was a bad sex addict.
So I think that's why she's.
I guess DMX was the bad one too.
Yeah. See, everybody's one. Is it not a real thing?
Well, at least
don't fake
the phone. Like you said, don't fake the phone. Tristan, 2 phones can't be trusted, Thompson. You just need to go ahead and be that free spirit that you are, and stop.
But why can't he do it on the low? That's what I'm confused about. Why can't he do it on the low? Like, why does it always has to be something that comes out? All men cheat on their wives on the low all the time. So I want to know why this one man who isn't dating this woman can't keep it on the low.
Because he don't know how to use condoms. Because he doesn't know how to use condoms, and babies keep coming out.
You think it's
probably? Yeah, that's probably how it happened in the first.
And I'm gonna need
Charles.
He probably he trying to do damage control. He was like, "Oops, she's pregnant. Oh my God." I'm pretty sure that's how it went. He got the phone call or the text. Excuse me. We're in 2022. He got the text. "Hey, boo, I'm pregnant." "You are? Oh my God, it's not mine." "All right, I got to do damage control." Chloe, here's the flowers. Here's the ring. I love you. Listen, we need to be together forever. He's laying it on. Probably used one of Drake's lyrics. Poor Drake. Probably just laying it on heavy. And just trying to get in front of this. And then it got louder and louder until he just surrendered. He's like, "You know what? Yeah, it is my baby." Yeah, we knew that when she said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and the girl said it was never even a secret. Like, she was
right.
Like, I didn't even know it was a secret. Like, I didn't know that me being with him, you know what I'm saying?
Look who's back in the comments.
Well, Darius, where have you been? He was one of our first faithful members. Welcome back to the congregation, Darius.
Right. Welcome back. Next up, now y'all didn't rally for this Free Britney movement. And I just want to say, with the videos that Britney Spears be posting, I see why she was in the conservatorship.
Have you seen them?
As a former Britney Spears fan,
Get your girl.
I would like to say that she has been entrapped for far too long, and she is just expressing herself. And I can only
I think it's rich folk business.
I think it's rich folk business.
Mhm.
And
You know
really,
that's what I say.
Yep.
I love Britney for whatever videos she's creating, whatever it makes, as long as it makes her happy. Are they sex videos, Marquita?
No, they one up. It's
here's the thing about the videos that Britney Spears is making. You are absolutely right. The fact that they probably had her trapped, she probably does not know how to carry herself on the internet. But the videos are very cringy. Like,
and she looked, I hate to say it, she looked dirty. White.
That's what I'm saying.
Tasha, it doesn't take much for them to look dirty. She's not, you understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes she's gonna, like her hair may need washing. Then she may have missed a day and then it's greasy. So she can't help she look dirty.
That's why she need to know about how social media works. And
it's bad. It's almost, I thought it was fake. Like I thought somebody had put it together. Like I was like, oh, did this to her. Like somebody had put her words to her in her body.
I'm a slave.
She used to be fire.
She looks as though she's being held hostage at this time, and she's no longer being held hostage.
Charles is singing in the background.
Guys, I'm thinking about the song.
He's about to bust out with the Britney Spears choreography. All that weird little movement that she be doing on her. Britney, please. Look at this.
What? I thought it was fake. I thought they put her body on.
Oh, there she go. Look, I told you. I'm a slave. Let's go with the lyrics. I'm a
It's giving me dance.
She giving y'all volume.
You better go, Britney. Hey. Twirl.
Annie's gonna fall off.
Her
bottom's gonna fall
Britney
off.
Spears look like she does the choreography for when you're indicted to vampirism, because I just don't feel as though it's the eye makeup that she's wearing.
I feel like she's being artistic. I don't understand when I saw the video, I didn't have no problems with it. I was like, okay.
She needs to adopt Fresh Face Sundays or whatever it is, Fresh Face Mondays or whatever it is, because
LaToya done made her a witch. Well, if she is, then y'all all better be nice on this show.
The eyeliner. It's the eyeliner. It looks like it. I think she does what Jim Jones does to his braids. So I think Jim Jones gets
not put a scarf on?
No, I think Jim Jones, when he gets his braids, he just does like this, and then he leaves out of the. I think when Britney Spears put eyeliner on, she does this, and then she presses record on the videos. It's very.
That's her look.
It's
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Danielle is a faithful fan. Yeah. Danielle, you're a faithful fan. I respect you for that.
And I respect that. Yeah. I just want somebody to, you know what I'm saying? If she is out of this conservatorship and she's just now getting online and things of that nature, I think somebody need to pull up to the side and say, let me tell you how social media work, and your kids is gonna be looking at this for more years and to come.
Oh, it's too late.
Business between,
yeah, what you say?
She can't put her kids in the TikTok video because she doesn't have them. LaToya.
Well, they still gonna see this. They still gonna see her twirling around like when you open up the ballerina jewelry box. They're gonna see her.
Y'all making my head wrap too tight. I just feel like
you got Charles is twirling it.
I just Charles gonna go in the video. He's gonna be like, "How you do that step again, Brittany? What
is that? That's actually the slave for you dance. That's perfectly.
Our ORNOT bot says Hashtag help her daddy. Oh, I love
Yes.
Yeah,
it.
yo.
Help your girl.
You know
Look
what?
out for your girl. Now I'm here for her, her and Jamie Lynn going back and forth on this good
I
internet.
love it.
I'm here for that.
I love
However,
it. Keep us entertained.
yes, because Brittany is airing out the business. Brittany said the chains have been broken.
Coming off.
Yeah, and you have released her, but I just want her to stop doing these videos. They look very, very cringeworthy, and I just want her to stop.
Her next album should be "My Daddy Can't Stop Me
we
Now."
We have to cut Hot Topic.
You got to cut Hot Topics. Wait, it's okay, cause I was done.
No, you weren't. You're lying.
So was Brittany.
No, I looked at the side. That was kind of my last. That was kind of my last one. But you know me.
Yeah, well, that one was great. Okay, that one was definitely rich folk business.
Yeah.
So thank you. But guess what? Y'all don't gotta go nowhere if you don't want to. Is anybody leaving?
No,
I
I'm
ain't going nowhere. We here. Let's go.
Okay, so tonight we honor MLK. That's kind of dope. So we're gonna kind of talk about an open discussion about what he stood for. Do we kind of feel like it's gotten any better? I kind of feel like I know how everybody feels about it. But anyways, okay, so we're gonna talk about whether or not it's gotten better. And to be very honest, I'm obsessed with the Emmett Till case recently. Of course, that's something we all know about. But Hulu has, I think it's AMC. I'm not sure. There's a show
I think it is
out.
AMC.
AMC called Woman of the Movement. It's about Mamie Till and the political stance that she took during her son's murder, and how America truly failed her with the justice system, etc. But with that comes a lot of other documentaries and things on YouTube, right? So we have our hands in source. Literally, YouTube is the source of everything. And I don't think people realize that we use it for everything, right? We use it for gaming. We use it for makeup, hair. But have you tried using it for like things like the Bible and civil rights movement to kind of dig and learn more? Because I've been engulfed. Okay, I've learned so much in the last little bit of time. So I'm going to stop talking. We will go first talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Who wants to go first? Or Danielle, do you want to kind of give us a kind of what we are, our head talking points?
Okay, so I first wanted to like touch on my Still I Rise, I guess. So a lot of people may not know the reason why I actually moved to Atlanta was because of Martin Luther King Jr. and the history that he had here. So I wanted to like walk the same streets. It sounds very cliche and nerd-like, but that's me. And so I wanted to like just really be engulfed and immersed in the culture and just, I guess, take it for what it was worth. So I had like a rough time after a breakup, and my sister and my mom bought me a ticket to go to Atlanta with my sister and one of her best friends. And it was like the best time of my life. I got to the airport and all these black faces were on the wall in the airport. I'd never seen that before. I had never seen like just genuine like Southern people other than at like A&T. When I was at North Carolina A&T. And so we got to like go to the house and like walk and like we walked to like, what was the waffle pancake Gladys Knight, when Gladys Knight was out?
We went to it was Gladys Chicken and Waffles.
Gladys Chicken and Waffles.
Okay.
We walked there. We were like, walk past the video shoot and we're asked to be in it, but we declined. So it was a whole thing. It was like after
this
that.
Was before like, Uber.
Yeah.
Uber. Yeah. So like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we just walked.
And my feet fell off. Tasha. And Tasha had us, Marquita. This was before Tasha was in the tax bracket she's in now. She was like, let's just walk to the hotel from someplace. And I had my mom's carry-on duffel bag. And, I'm already broke down.
Period. It wasn't me. It was Kaon.
I don't think Tasha's tax bracket is ever gonna make a difference to certain things.
Well, she was okay with this one, Marquita.
Tasha's here. Hello.
Right? Like
were you not okay with
this? Have to do with Martin.
Anyway, I ended up falling in love with Atlanta then because of all of the reasons, and the main one was because of Martin Luther King. And so with that said, now I like can drive past the house anytime I want to when it's like it's not as the impact wasn't as much as it was in the beginning, I will say that, but it is like still very comforting to like see. It's like a constant representation of history. Tasha is present. Thank you, Latoya. And so anyway, I wanted to say that by, I guess, preface all of that with kind of just going into, I think we should start with his death. Like, what do we know about what happened first? And what I guess some of us may not know. So does anyone even know why he was in Tennessee, or does anybody?
And from what I can gather, he was there for, I'm not gonna say a rally. It was more so he made his speech, right?
Yeah.
Which would turned out to be his final speech, right? And when he was at the hotel, he was standing out, of course, out on the balcony, whatnot, is of course where he got shot in the face, but he wasn't dead at that point.
Right.
He was laying there, and of course, half his face was kind of pretty much blown off, and that's where you see that iconic scene where everybody's pointing in the direction of wherever the shot came from. What makes it, and that's, people still talk about that to this day because they don't know. It's like so many theories, like surrounded by that particular moment, where they're like, oh well, he didn't have a tie on. That was kind of the signal for he was a person to be shot. One was, Jesse Jackson was involved. It was all kinds of like rumors.
Oh, so then it would have to have been an inside job,
right?
Because
right.
How would we have known that he wouldn't have had a tie on before?
Right. So it's all kinds of things that, I mean, there's been specials.
They all think we look alike.
Yeah. So,
but not to cut you off, Charles. I think it was interesting, very interesting to me. Something that I feel like you think about Martin Luther King Jr., you think about civil rights, you think about racial equalities. But he was not only just about racial equalities, he was really big about the economical equalities too, as well. And so, for example, that's actually why he was there, was for he was rallying for sanitation, for the sanitation workers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I found that to be something that I forget often. Because when you go through like pictures and they look through pictures, you'll see pictures where he talks about the poor, and it's not just for African American people of economical issues, but it's for everyone. So he was truly, a man for equality all around, and not just for us, which is pretty dope.
So with that said, I want to jump in really quick to give you a little pastor moment. Today, my pastor kind of remembered Martin Luther King, and he spoke about how there has to be intentional sacrifice. And that's exactly what Martin Luther King did. And so intentional sacrifice means like you may be hated right now. You may be loved later. You have empathy for others that are and aren't like you. And so those are the same characteristics that we see or that Christians believe that Jesus had. And so I think that it's important to say like he had intentional sacrifice for the bigger change. And so that, if anything, like the I Have a Dream speech, that's great. And I'm glad y'all remember that in school. But what is the foundation under it? Like when it comes down to it, the bare minimum is he wanted change and he did what he had to do. And so, like Tasha said, he was in Memphis for the sanitation workers, I think.
Right.
And so he was fighting he wasn't a sanitation worker. He was a Republican. He was living his best life to the best he could with multiple women. And he was just doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
What? I mean, I'm not going to I'm just going to straight shoot him. He was living his best life.
I love it.
You old player, you.
I mean, Scott King said that was not true. She said that was not true.
Okay.
Oh,
I say that too. When I'm the beneficiary, can't nobody come to this funeral unless I say so. He ain't messing with nobody else. Let a side chick come to the funeral if she want to. I'm gonna say that too. That's right.
Everybody's
I just have my own opinion about it. That's
Coretta said you bitches could never. That's what Coretta said. That's what.
So Other than that, Marquita, did you have anything to say about his death?
No, I don't have anything to say about I just know Coretta was holding it down. That's what I know.
Yes, I do want to talk about that real briefly.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with Bernice King. Bernice King is the youngest daughter. She's the one in the pictures where you see her like crying on her
church.
Bernice King.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Bernice King, she's the youngest one. She was 5 when he died or whatever.
Okay.
And she talks about how it's kind of funny, Danielle, you bring it up, the intentional sacrifice, because the intentional sacrifice, she states that like he wouldn't have made the impact he made if he hadn't died.
Yeah. Well, it's not funny. I brought it up. My pastor was mentored by her. So.
Okay.
What, you don't agree with it?
I don't.
Okay.
We talk about in school was Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. So I feel as though we did take his death for granted because it did not make us more self-aware with these facts. Everything that somebody said on this call, I guarantee you, when you open up a history book, it says none of this.
Said that.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
We just talked about that before I got on this call.
So I don't. To be perfectly honest, I'm not saying that it was a good thing.
You think if he didn't die, he would have made the same impact?
I do believe so, because I believe that's why he died. He wouldn't have died if he didn't have the impact that he had while he was living. You kill this man, you kill what he is able to continue to do, because you got to think about it. He had children too. So to have that knowledge in himself and it not trickle down to his children to make them soldiers of what he was talking about as well. Do you know his legacy could have continued to go on had this man, what would have happened if he would have made that speech? What could that have meant if Martin Luther King was still alive? Would we be in the same predicament that we would be politically?
Well, I think that's where we're here.
Martin Luther King was a Republican. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He was a Republican. What would that do for politics now if this man was still alive and that was the line that he was? Would we be Democrats?
That's very good, Marquita.
That's a good question.
Charles, what do you think?
If he was still alive today, I think he would be labeled as an influencer. That definitely, he would be like without a Martin Luther King, and of course the Malcolm X, anybody of the 60s that had a voice to stand up, because they were so. And again, and talking about like with the history books, they never go into they pick like certain leaders. There's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and all we knew as kids growing up was like, oh, Martin Luther King, I have the dream speech, and it's a day off from school, right?
Yeah.
So now as we've gotten older, we've done more research and everything else. Like this man was a giant. Like he rose up, and he was only like a portion. Look at all the stuff he did. He was only a portion of the civil rights movement. There's countless names that, of course, doesn't get talked about, but the amount of things that he accomplished in his short life, beyond amazing. Now, if he was still living to this day, then yeah, he would be labeled as an influencer. Now, his political views, who knows? I mean, we've had. Go
ahead, Charles.
No, I was just gonna say we've had folks that started out Republican, they went over to Democrat. We have people that were Democrat and went over to Republican. So we don't know if he would have stayed that way or if he would have changed. I mean, we'll never know that, of course. But far as like just him, if he were alive today, I still think he would have a huge impact because, again, of course, he would be a lot older. And I think that like his words, his inspirations would still carry on with him. And then that's when you would see like I'll say the Nipsey Hussles of the world or whatnot, the newer generation of influencers, because if that's the case, like look how long Dick Gregory lived. And he had a whole lot of knowledge of a lot of these things. And Dick Gregory talked about a lot of different conspiracies and everything else as well, too, and he influenced a generation. He influenced someone to stand up and fight for their rights, fight for what they believe in. And so, yeah, I mean, it can go both ways, you know.
Taya, what were you gonna
But I
say?
think he does.
So Charles mentioned Malcolm X, and so a thing that not a thing. Well, I thought that I have always heard and maybe it just comes from like me believing in conspiracy theories or like really researching them. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X only met once,
Right?
And they met like March 26th, I think. And Martin Luther King was killed April 4th. So what I read previously was that the government was like, wait a minute,
you can't
have him.
He's getting fed up, or he's gonna meet with this militant man, which his with opposite views, and we need to handle it. And so that is personally why I think that was like the catalyst.
But
the thing is, you have to have conversations with people who don't think like you. So like what he did was right. That was like one of the pillars, is to gather information of the opposite view. So that doesn't necessarily mean he was like, let's get some guns, Malcolm. He might have been like, tell me why you want the guns. Where do you get the guns from? And
imagine what force those two would have had if they would have got together. All of that, keeping them separate and making Malcolm seem, like you said, this militant, want to pull his guns out, and Martin Luther King was a peaceful, but they both had that following. Imagine if those black people got together that was on both sides, what type of impact we would have had on history, what they would have changed if they both would have said, forget. We always say about when two opponents are against each other, we always say that what would happen if they both got together? Like, what type of impact would Biggie and Tupac have? You know, beefing with each other. Look at the impact that they still have on hip hop. Niggas is still going hard for them. Tupac ain't dead. But that's what I'm saying.
He's not dead. What are y'all talking about?
He's with his aunt and Sada Shakur in the Dominican Republic, probably.
Thank you. I believe that too. Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
Or think about that. Not only just take those two, add on Fred Hampton, Stokely Carmichael,
Quintel Pro.
Of course, like Angela Davis of the world, the entire Black Panther Party of Self-Defense.
Look how they took our matches out. You seen that saying where it's like, if you light all the matches, but if you take one out, the fire stops. Look how many times they stopped our fire as Black people by taking those intricate people out of our history.
So a perfect way to transition this. They've done all these things. They took our matches out, right? So that we could stop the fire. Here we are today. And there's been a ton of fire over the last 2 to 3 years. We have been in an uproar, and it's bad. And I find it funny because I listened to, while going back to the Emmett Till situation, why I put these two together. Because the Emmett Till situation was very interesting. Emmett goes to visit family, right? He went to Mississippi. He's from Chicago. Emmett goes to visit family, and he doesn't realize that he's going in the midst of a political fire of equality and race, where they were killing and lynching Black men and boys in that town during that same time he went to visit his uncle. Right. And Mamie has a talk with him about what to say to Caucasians, how to handle Caucasians, all to hope that he comes home.
You mean like
talk I have?
You mean like the conversation that you had with your son about not wearing a hoodie?
That's where I'm going. So the same talk that I have with my kid that tells him he can't wear his Black hoodie in Food Lion. The same talk I have with my kid that I don't want him to come home past a certain time because I'm scared that I'm sorry for those who are cops. I'm scared that the cop might think that he's the kid that robbed the bank down the street, not knowing that he's a straight A student that dropped 17 points the other night. They don't care. They don't care that he's going to a great college. They don't care he came from a great family because they don't care that Emmett Till in particular was just 14. He knew no better. His mom gave him a talk. He begged her.
Well, he may have known better. What he did wasn't wrong. So
fact, but he didn't know the significance of it. That's where that's the underlying pillar to it all. Because my kid, he still puts the hood on his head, even though I tell him not to. The significance is don't keep your hands in your pockets because it might be Skittles, but they think it's a gun, and then you might end up dead.
So here's a comment in the thing that I would like to address. Isaac says, "I never tell my son to not wear a hoodie." So Isaac, I would have to.
That's his choice.
That's his choice, but I would also
I don't tell my kid not to wear a hoodie. I tell him not to put the hood on his head.
Right.
He's in a store.
Right. So one, understand the context of it, and two, understand the trauma response and trauma that Black mothers have. There are Black fathers that lose their child as well, but far more Black mothers have started organizations due to gun violence, and more specifically due to white cops killing Black children. And sometimes that means based off of what they look like. So I understand you're saying that you wouldn't tell your son that. That's completely up to you. But as a aunt to several Black boys, and I personally totally understand that.
Yeah,
Charles. Right. We don't want to say that. I was gonna say we don't want to say that to our son. So I get that 100%. We don't want to tell them, wear what you want to wear, when you want to wear it, how you want to wear it, because they was not at the store with me when I pulled out their credit card to swipe it. So you can do that, but we living in a different times as where, you know what I'm saying? They're not looking at white women no more. They're walking down the street with Skittles in their pockets. So we got to make sure that we talk about, you know what I'm saying? The conversation it's just changed. Just like back in the day, I'm pretty sure it was Black people like, my son got eyes. He can look at whatever he want to look at. But you can't look at no white woman.
But again, I had to talk. My dad had to talk to me.
Bad all you want to.
Yeah.
What you say?
Exactly.
My dad had to talk with me, and this was the early 90s, and then when I started driving, I couldn't drive his new car through Harlem because that was a target on my back.
So Charles, I didn't know you're from New York. How was it growing up in New York as a young Black man? I guess after the exonerated 595 exonerated
Central Park 5.
Yes.
5.
Yeah. So
now exonerated.
It was tough because I have 4 older brothers. They was teenagers in the 80s. I was 9 when that Central Park thing happened.
Okay.
So my parents always had their head on the swivel and always had to have the talk like, hey, you got to really watch yourself out there, Yeah. Because again, you always had to keep that, I call it the third eye. You always have to keep that third eye. Even to this day, I keep the third eye because you just never know, because everything has escalated, know. But during that time, I had to keep the third eye because you never know. I'm 9, I could be walking and somebody say I did something, I didn't do it, and I'm like with the Central 5.
Yeah.
Central Park 5.
When you say the third eye, I always think of like people don't really know what the third eye is, but the third eye is like it really is mean you're woke. Basically, you see other things. It's not a great place to be in when you do have the third eye. It's like you see everything, so you understand everything. So I think that's where Black people. Yeah, so like Black people have a third eye in general because we have to be able to discern and see what's not for us, and then you have to have a different kind of third eye when you're a Black woman and when you're a Black boy.
Yes.
And when you're in different situations, when you're driving, when you're walking.
What's really sad is that there's so much that's swept under the rug that we don't see, right? Yeah. So like, for example, the Emmett Till situation, they said, let's say a week before he got to Mississippi, there was on page 25 of the newspaper, there was a talk about how 2 boys was found lynched on a tree somewhere in the neighborhood, and the paper chose not to show the picture that was taken.
Yeah,
it was a very small print of what happened, and that, to be honest, that still happens today. That still happens today. I'm going to be honest. Be very honest with y'all. I didn't know nothing about the Central 5.
until the Netflix. A lot of people didn't.
Well, no, you probably did, Tasha. You probably heard it was brushed over when Trump started trickling into saying he wanted to be in office. That was the first time I was introduced to it. And I'm like, oh, well, he not letting the Black people in the apartments, and he done called these 5 young boys rapists.
No, but what I'm saying is we were young, like Charles is saying, we were young when
I mean, I didn't, of course. Yeah,
right. I was 9, so you were a baby. Exactly. So but what I'm saying is after I became a teenager, and as it started to go on, we still knew nothing about it to the extent to what the way that went down was absolutely horrifying. Okay.
I don't know. It just seems like we have more Emmett Till, Central Park 5, what's the baby name from Fruitville Station? We have more of those stories in the news than we have Martin Luther King and Malcolm X stories in the news. So I feel as though, when we talk about celebrating this man and what he's done for people, it's like, when are we going to start to put those things into action? Because it just seems as though, everybody get their book deal, everybody make their TV appearance, everybody picks their political party, and then we just go away. There's no one holding anybody accountable for the things that we do for Black people and the things that we see as Black people. I know it's more things going on in our community other than police brutality and ghetto baby mamas and baby daddies and stuff like that. There's more than that going on with our people, and we just don't get the spotlight put on it as much as.
And you know what's funny? You said that one of the daughters made a mention about that. She mentioned, she was like, my father was more of a doer than people know. So like he was more active. So people think of him as his speeches and him telling you what you should do and how you should do it, but they don't know that he was out there with the sanitation workers, you know what I'm saying, rallying, doing whatever he could to be hands on deck. You know what I mean? So I think that's a great point, Marquita. I think it's something that we should all try to model some way, some shape or form, because I just feel like I don't want anyone to think that this episode, this MLK edition, was not to honor the man, the legend, right? He's great, but I also think that we got a long way to go. Because that was my point. I mean, I absolutely.
Do you guys feel like anybody? Oh, my bad. I was gonna say, do you guys feel like there was someone, or even now, that picked up where he left off at?
You know what?
Is there not saying there's another Martin Luther King Jr.? I'm just saying, is there someone of our people who really picked up where Martin Luther King Jr. left off?
Charles got one.
You know what? I've got many.
Okay.
Us.
That's right.
We're using our platform, and a whole bunch of other folks out there that's podcasting, that's using their platform to talk about the issues that's still going on to this day. Because the more you keep talking about it, the more someone else picks up on it and learns from it, and we keep passing that knowledge around. And then again, we collaborate and do something, and we're still doing it. Say like today, like we talked about, like one match took out the flame, right? One flame killed all the matches, right? But again, we're all an individual flame. And we're creating one big fire by using these big platforms, by saying, hey, we're talking about MLK on a Sunday. Yeah, we could be anywhere else in the universe, digital or physical, but we're here talking about and honoring the person who did so much within the civil rights movement and just within the communities in general that he was in. Now it's our time slot. This is our time slot to continue on. So that's why I say, yes, it's us. It's anybody that's ever done a podcast, anybody that's ever wrote a blog, anyone that's got out into the streets in March, anyone that's actually just did something and not just accept things the way they are. So, I say all of us.
I would say to piggyback off of that, we had not a conversation about MLK a couple seasons ago, but it was about just like our agenda as Black people and how it kind of gets translated incorrectly based off of, because we don't have a Martin Luther King Jr. or a Malcolm X like figure. And I would like to just present the idea that just as Charles said, there's so many different people that are trying to do their own thing and trying to light the fire, that why isn't, I think Black people have the tendency, and I feel, well, I'll just say Black people because I don't know what the white people think. I think Black people have the tendency to be like, well, y'all went to protest, but then nothing changed. Or you was out there protesting in the middle of COVID, and what did that do, Danielle? Or we got Joe Biden, he's doing XYZ now. That's the point. That's besides the point. The point is, any person who wrote a blog, any person who makes a post on Facebook, who lets someone who else put, tell someone else the opposite story, that is a form of movement. And that's all we can work towards.
This show right here. This show right
exactly.
here. It's going to be in some rotation.
Yeah,
and it's going to come up when someone.
The conversation that we're having is. Yeah, the conversation that we're having is intellectual. The conversation is not demeaning. We're all respecting each other's time and space. And I can't necessarily say that has happened in the past with other people that have been on the show. And that is why our show is what it is now. We have hand-selected the people to come and join. These are people that are in our family, that are real family, y'all.
Right here.
Yeah, right here. And so that doesn't mean we all agree on everything, or our approach to everything is not the same. But the whole point is we have a bigger picture, which is to move the mark a little further. I think it's a valid question, Marquita. But I will say that I think that it does take everyone to do some little part.
Yeah. I was gonna say after you, I was like, can we stop putting our eggs in the political basket?
Yes.
Can we now realize that? And I know people want to go so hard. Oh, the Republicans did this, and y'all see, y'all Democrats ain't did nothing. Really, neither one of them are doing anything. So it actually really doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, what have you done? Like, look, like Janice say, what have you done for me lately?
I just realized. Right. I want us to realize that, when we march and we say things like Black Lives Matter, that, and we talk about COVID, those things aren't political things. The political people are capitalizing off of this. Don't get me wrong. But I think that we should stop putting our eggs in the political basket to where we say, you know what? We've taught those Democrats a lesson. Yeah. They're going to come back and they're going to be our savior. Or we're going to say, you know what? Or people say, oh, we're done with the Democrats. They didn't do anything for us. The Republicans going to get it right this time. And neither one of them are doing anything. And like you said, it's up to us as a people when we have our platforms and things of that nature to say, you know what? This is the way that the people should be going. And this is how we should band together and do what we have to do as a people, and not just rely on a political party as a savior, because it's not going to happen. Neither party is for us. Don't start just going back and forth about Republicans and Democrats and stuff like that. Neither party is for us.
So we are. Yeah, did you have something? I'm sorry.
No, we're just gonna go right. Say what you got to say, girl. The floor is yours.
Okay. No, I was wrapping us up because I think that this is actually a good transition out. But it just puts a little spark in me to want to talk about it more. So I've always had a special place in my heart for our movement, for our people. My name as a child, my mama called me Little Angela Davis. So there was a reason for that. So, it really just sitting here, Charles, you hit it right on the nose. I sat and watched YouTube videos, and I told my sister, I was so caught up in it. I literally watched up until 6:50. The show comes on at 7, and I watched till 6. I know it's a lot to watch.
I can't watch these stories. I can't watch Emmett Till. I have not seen.
Hear me out. It was interviews and things like that from people like years later, right? It wasn't as in depth as I told my sister, Women of the Movement. I think Charles said it might be on either AMC or ABC, something like that. Everyone find a way to tune in. I will say episode 2, I cried for 30 minutes watching it. It was very hard to watch, but there was so many things, Marquita, that I learned that I didn't know. and I want my kid to watch it now. Now I'm like, I'm sorry, it's something he needs. I need to feed him this because I can't be out there with him all the time. I have to give him to the world. And he needs to see these little tiny pieces that we missed, and they've decided to amplify it on TV. But what I told Danielle, this was the coolest thing ever. Mm-hmm. Before every episode, they put something on the screen that says that this is going to be tough to watch, and that if this triggers you in any way, they give you a support line. So I think that's super dope because we haven't had that as Black people. You see it for domestic violence, you see it for, sexual abuse, things like that, but you don't see it for our stuff, the stuff that touches right here. So long story short, I think there's going to be more shows like this, guys. Keep an eye out. I definitely think that, to be honest, we have a great panel. This is a good way for us to talk it through. So, FYI to the cast, we might be doing this again very soon because next month is Black History Month. So we should really amplify this at the time and talk about some stories that people might not know about. It might be time for us to talk about some things that are not put out there. So with a quick 30 seconds for each person, Marquita, do you have any lasting words? 30 seconds.
I would just like to say I do love coming on these shows, but I don't watch all of that stuff because I can't. No. I've been surrounded by Black men all my life. I just cannot watch this stuff. It just breaks my heart, so I can't watch it. I know what it is. I know what the history of it is, but I just can't keep watching it. I can't relive it. It's just, if you don't know, you need to watch it so you can know. But for me, I'm good on that. You can always further your knowledge, but we'll talk more about these subjects at another time.
Charles?
I will say this. Yes, we definitely need to talk about this more. The more you know, the more you grow, of course. And yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be crazy. You're going to be angry at your coworkers. Let's keep it real. You're going to be looking at people a little bit differently. Just to be honest, but
I watch Rosewood and I'm ready to knock some shit over. But
damn,
reading the Bible does it for me.
Yeah,
true.
And again, since it is Sunday, and again, a nice person has said, if they hate me, they'll surely hate you. No servant is greater than his master.
Hey.
So.
Yes,
there it is.
Come on, somebody, tell them again.
There
Danielle,
it is.
Danielle, bring us home, Pastor L. Pastor L, what you got?
So I wanted to just say that first, thank you guys. I wanted to first thank Marquita and Charles and Tasha for having these conversations. Me and Tasha loved this stuff, but we weren't sure if y'all loved it too, honestly. And now we know that you do.
Now you know.
We know it's every part. It's in some, in your heart, but as big. It looks like it's equally as big in yours as it is in ours. So we thank you for that, and we thank you for those who stayed around and watched this very funny, interesting, and informational podcast show tonight. I think that maybe once a month we should have something that highlights the Black community. There's so many other things that we can talk about. We can talk about how there's like a museum here where you can like sit at the counter and do the audio, and that tore me up. And so we watched the Emmett Till at the museum. That broke me down. So I can only imagine the other things that we can discuss. And so with that said, like Charles said, I just want us to take away from this so that Martin Luther King's name doesn't go in vain and his death doesn't go in vain, is to pick up where he left off. Whether that means whatever your religion is, but he was a Christian man, so I can only go off of that, y'all. And so his principles was just Jesus. And he just did what Jesus said he should do, which was to love. And so if you love your enemy, then you will get love back. And I'm not saying, be best friends with the enemy. I'm just saying love them, extend grace.
From a distance.
Right.
At least.
Extend grace, and have conversations that are tough like this, and just continue to seek change and be a revolutionary. There's nothing better than to actually feel like you did something, period.
Mhm.
And so without change, we cannot, we have like we have life projects we're working on. I told Tasha that last week. I was like, kids are life projects. This isn't a school project. This is the biggest life project you have. We have to get it right. And so it's on us.
And they don't come with no supplies, no manual,
no instructions.
Damn manual. No damn manual.
Nothing. No backpack, no snacks. You have to come with all of those things. And so we have to get it right. We have to at least try to. That means going for the change, putting ourselves in positions that we're uncomfortable. Let's get uncomfortable over the next quarter or two or the next 5 years. Let's just be extremely uncomfortable and get stuff done.
And it starts with this.
And it starts with this.
It starts with getting in our comments and saying exactly how you feel, and be willing to have Richard Allen Russell come at your neck, or Toya come at your neck in the comments. Let's just start little, right? Let's start little and be willing to just stand for what you believe in. It's okay if you believe everything we said was not true. That's
lonely. It's really lonely wanting to be a part of change. And that's just something that you have to, that's what you believe in.
And that goes all the way across the board. That goes in your relationships. It goes in your work.
Like single people are not necessarily like they single because they have standards, guys. Okay.
We're gonna make that another show.
Right.
Okay. That's another show. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes
having standard Sunday.
Okay. Having standard Sunday, yes. And so it's single. It's long. Oh, I know what it's. The thing is, it's lonely when you stand in the gap.
Preach, preacher.
Look, lonely and windy.
Yes, and the breeze.
It gets windy.
That's all, guys. Anybody else have anything else?
No, that's it. Wrap us up, Dan. Wrap us up.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you guys have followed us on all the major platforms, all the fruits and veggies. Follow us, like, share with a friend, share with a coworker, share with someone that doesn't look like you. And then let them in and, have a conversation after.
Passive aggressively show them this episode.
Yes.
This is the only time where I'm going to support passive aggressiveness. Yes, this is the best approach.
Drop the link to someone.
Yeah. Be like, girl, have you ever seen these people?
Thank you, and I know we're off today.
I got that Britney song in my head. I'm sorry.
Listen, you got to draw the people in first. And so we just appreciate you guys for tuning in and staying on with us. We don't know if Sunday will be our new day. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
To the crew. We'll see. Maybe every now and then. This is a nice spot, I think. Shout out to the Battlegrounds. I'm headed over now. I'm sure Charles is too.
Okay.
That's what that call was. You heard the bat phone going.
Can you send me the link?
It's a big old championship tonight. So we headed over there now. That's why I'm trying to get
I'm trying to wrap up, but can you send me the link?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Have a great day tomorrow. Take time to remember, and definitely check out the Women of the Movement. We'll have another episode on that. Same cast. Love this.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.